Life Story Part 7, The New Kid Once Again. So, briefly, where I left off last time was how things ended with everything in Torrance and what led to me being placed into Redondo, but I was right across the street from Torrance, so I was still right there. Okay, so the reason that I was the new kid, but I kind of wasn't, was if you can recall, I said that I played a lot of sports as a kid. So one of the places that I played sports randomly enough was Redondo. So it was really weird because I played like little league with a lot of these kids, and I don't know if you played sports as a kid growing up, like you hear people's names over a loudspeaker maybe, or playing them or whatever. So I was running into these kids as like sophomores in high school that I hadn't seen since like elementary school age, and they like were older and stuff, and like so that I would hear their names like maybe in like a class or something like that, and I would just be like, oh shit, that sounds familiar. Or like I would go to someone's house and I would like have like a throwback like thing, and I would remember being a little kid playing like Tony Hawk on like N64 or something. Like, dude, it was really wild. But anyways, it's like I had that, but I at the same time I was still an outsider, very much so. So when I came around, it's like I knew, like, first off, my credits were shit, so they wanted me to go to like a continuation type school, but because I was so young, they don't like putting people that are super young into those kind of schools, and I was just so young. So they just did. I didn't have a math class when went over there. When I got there, they just like didn't put me in math. I didn't even figure that out for like a good amount of years, honestly, until I actually thought about it. But either way, um, you know, I was there, and I was selling, like, I was just getting out of rehab. I had been in rehab the whole time since I'd gotten kicked out of school when I was at the first school I got sent to. So I was just in my finishing stages of finishing rehab. So when I got to Redondo, I hit the ground fucking running 1,000 miles per hour. I know I had weed and Xanax for sale. So that was kind of my in. Like when I would approach people or I would see people, I would just tell them like, "Hey, I have this and I have that." And like I can still remember telling someone like, "Yo, I have bars," and they were like, "Xannies?" And I had never heard someone like really say it like that before, and I found out that was kind of common, and I was just like, "Yeah, sure, those, yeah," but I just had never heard that before. But that definitely helped, I think, spread my name around the circle, and it was just the same shit to me in a new place. Like I had been doing my thing even when I was in rehab, even when I couldn't do anything, I was still taking part in a lot of shit. I just couldn't smoke weed. That was really like, or like, do anything else. Like, I was getting tested randomly and everything, but I still took part in a lot of stuff. So, you know, I I had the intro to a lot of people, and I can still remember someone referring me to someone else, and I was like talking to them, and I can still remember this moment that this kid said, "Do you have change for 100?" And I was used to people being like, "Yo, I have $5 now. I'll give you $5 in like 2 weeks," like, and like stuff like that. And I just remember thinking like, yeah, like I think that things are gonna work out over here. Like this is where I should have been. So, you know, it was cool. The people there were cool. Like it was like finally once I figured that out, that I had known some of these kids from a way earlier time. It didn't just like open up all the doors or to the kingdom to me or anything like that. It just like there were some people that were like, "Oh shit, I remember that," or whatever. So, it was still weird. It was just like when I went to North and it was a bunch of kids that I went to elementary school with. It's really weird how that pattern repeated itself. I didn't even think about that until now. So, really, like, that shit was super chill being at a place like that, like instead of the Torrance Unified School District, it is night and day difference. You have so much more freedom. You're by the beach. Like the teachers are cool. Like the vibe is just like so much different. And like I was getting at before, I missed 2 weeks of school just in the expulsion process from west to north. And then I missed another 2 weeks from north to Redondo. So I missed a month. And from north to Redondo, I missed those star standardized testing things or whatever. I think it's because I was going from a different district to another district. So I just never did that. Like, and I don't know how that affected my future or whatnot, but it probably wasn't anything good. Um, the main thing I can get into was when I got to that school, the guy that fucked me over and got me into rehab by pulling some shady shit, I actually ran into him at Redondo Union High School. And I could see him, like, he was right by where my locker was. It was really weird. He had this little fucking office. He called me in there one time. It was weird. I refused to go in there. But, like, I would see him trying to talk to kids, and he would be like, yeah, you could talk to me. And, like, he did the same thing to me, played me the same way. So I would be in the hallway, and I'd be like, don't tell him shit. And he would see me, and I'd be like, don't tell him fucking anything. It's not going to work out. And guess where that fool is right now? He's dead because he overdosed. Yeah. So, not that I saw that coming or anything, and it's not that I wished that on him, but I'm just saying, maybe he didn't have all the answers like he thought he did. So, you know, it was nice having all that freedom there, and I'm meeting more people, and really, like, I was able to meet a lot of people and get introduced to a lot of people just because of the way that I got down business wise, I guess you could say, or whatever. And I got to meet a lot of really cool people, people that I never would have met if it wasn't for that previous thing. And a moment of like real, I wasn't like undetermined when I got to Redondo, but something that was kind of a glimmer of hope that I didn't necessarily need, but I thought it was cool, was there was a kid there. He was a grade older than me. I'm not going to say his name because he probably wouldn't want to be associated with this channel, but he was from Russia and he didn't speak a single lick of English when he came to Redondo. And that was, I think, when he was I don't know, he had been there for a couple years. And then I showed up and he told me that story. And I just remember being like, damn, like I would have never guessed it. He had such a, I would have guessed he grew up there and stuff. So I was like, damn. And that fool was down. He streaked at a football game. He was really down. Like, and I remember being like, all right, like this place is like not bad. The other crazy thing about that place too is high school is known for cliques, right? Cliques, 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 cliques. It was like that at the first one I went to. It was like that at the second one I went to. But at Redondo, there were cliques, don't get me wrong. But the weird thing was, to me it was weird, is literally anybody could be a drug dealer. That's how it felt at Redondo. Like there could be like a straight up nerdy kid that you wouldn't expect could like do anything or whatever. And at their house, they could have the sickest glass collection ever, or they have fucking things of sheets of tabs, like big things, and like big bags of ecstasy and stuff. Like you just could never judge it. Like I just really, I already had that opinion, but that definitely reinforced it of like, do not judge a book by its cover. Also, it was crazy because my next door neighbor I grew up, or across the street neighbor I grew up with, he was there for a little bit too, and I saw him a couple times, so that was really weird because he was the closest thing I had to a neighborhood friend growing up until I moved to Torrance when I lived in Carson. So it was really just basic. Like that was my 10th grade year. It was just like me and two other people got kicked out of two other high schools. So all three of us got kicked out of our high school and we all came to Redondo at the same time. So we just automatically all just grouped together and fucked with each other, and we had like a really cool like group friend dynamic, and like it was honestly like a really cool time. I was not used to things being cool. I was used to school being like the fucking gulag. Like that's how it was in Torrance. I don't know about now. Like I don't think they probably do Saturday school and all that shit anymore, but they did when I was there. I don't know. But anyways, that year everything was cool. I'm gonna dig into this area of time just because a lot of kind of shit went down, but that was that first transitional year into Redondo. So I just wanted to make that clear of kind of the differences and how I took it and how I kind of got my place in the world over there. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you've been enjoying this. It really warms my heart to see that people are actually like watching this, even if it's 20, 30, 40, 50 people, 100 people. Like, that's really cool for me. And I just can't thank you guys enough. And I try to do the best I can with at least putting a video out here a day. So I'm going to stop before I ramble for on and on and on and on and on, in the words of Tom DeLonge. So, yeah, peace.